A heart without a soul cannot beat. A heart that cannot beat turns to ice. The ice hides what once was until the soul comes calling again to awaken what lies beneath the frost.
That's exactly what I did. I shit in a watermelon. So last time on Solar Frost, our intrepid heroes found themselves lost in the wastes of Sulter, when all of a sudden they came across the saber-tooth raiders. Our main party, sans Bastian Parker, our intrepid heroes were lost in the white wastes of Sulter when they came across these saber-tooth raiders. Now, these raiders wanted to take them back to the camp, and so they did, minus, of course, Bastian Parker, as Bastian is lost in a separate part of Sulter, and also possibly at a different time. But,
to be clear, I'm not lost. I'm where you were like 3 days ago.
Bastian is lost in Sulter, and upon reaching the Sabertooth camp, I believe we were asked to do something with a bag of scalps that Thub has. I don't remember what it is exactly, but what I do remember is that Thicket was brought into the chieftain of the Sabertooth Raiders, his tent. And we got some very interesting lore drops, chief among which being that, according to this gentleman, he knew Thicket at his village all those years ago. But how can that be? And Thicket doesn't seem to be having it. Moreover, it seems that Thicket's memories might be a lie. Wandering in the woods, worshipping a being that seemingly does not exist. What could any of this mean? Find out this time, maybe, on Live from Dice Jail.
We will not find out this time.
Soul of Frost.
Yeah, we will not find out this time.
We will not find out this time. Because as you mentioned, that is the main party, sans Bastian Parker. Bastian Parker is currently still wandering the wastes of Sulter. Cold and alone. Except, of course, for, her internal organs. And I believe her last organ interaction was, as usual, with the heart, and the heart was, as usual, highly unpleasant.
I was going to say the heart was a dick, but sure.
Yeah, as usual, highly unpleasant. And I believe specifically where we last left Bastian was asleep in a little burrow that she had made in a snowdrift. Does that sound correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bastian.
Yep.
You awaken very suddenly and feel that you cannot breathe. You cannot see. You are freezing, cold, wet. You are buried in snow.
Okay, that's bad.
What do you do?
Gonna go ahead and... Is my environmental endurance worn off?
What is your environmental endurance again?
It...
What's that from?
It's a second rank spell.
Ah, how long does it last?
Until your next daily preparations.
Well, then it's still active.
Okay. Cool. I don't really have a sense of which way up is, do I?
No. Not really.
Well, that's not great. Do I have enough space to maneuver my sword?
You have absolutely no space. You are 100% buried in snow and you're starting to suffocate.
Great. I would like to try and dig the direction that I'm facing up.
Excellent.
Dig out.
Make an athletics check.
What if this is just where I die? That is an 18.
An 18. You manage to move your move your hands enough to be able to get them free, but you are still very rapidly running out of air and you can barely move. Even as you manage to get your hands free, almost immediately snow fills in the gaps.
Great, 10 out of 10. Nope, that's not gonna do anything. Can I try digging?
You just did.
Oh, okay. Any of these spells? If I cast something with sonic damage, would we say that it could move some of the snow off of me?
Possibly.
Okay, let's just try a 3-action concordant choir against
Okay.
the snow I'm trapped in.
Okay. I will note concordant choir targets creatures specifically.
Of course it does. Targets a creature. That says targets varies. Means the number of targets, I guess.
Which spell?
For concordant choir.
Ah. Well, it does specifically say that it deals damage to a single enemy, to all creatures in a 10-foot burst, and all creatures in a 30-foot emanation.
We can't just say it would be an emanation from me 30 feet out that would hopefully move the snow.
Well, it would still be sonic damage to all creatures.
I mean, I'm suffocating, so...
Yeah.
I'm not really seeing a way out. Can I projectile a hole into the snow with a crossbow bolt from my belt?
Sure. Make an attack roll.
Piercing, I guess. Okay, that's a 23 against the mound of snow.
Excellent, a 23. The bolt flies from your belt up through the snow, and you feel a whoosh of air. You think you might have made a hole, but you don't know how long it'll last.
Okay, can
The
I
snow
try
does
and
not seem to be particularly hard packed right now.
can I try and break through that hole?
Well, it's very small. Probably around the width of your finger.
Right, but I want to just follow the hole and try and burrow out through it.
You start wiggling your fingers a little bit to widen the hole. And thanks to the assistance of your claws, you are able to make some decent progress. Snow does start to fill back in, but seems like you're making a bit more progress than before. It's difficult because you don't really have any room to actually put the snow when you're moving it. So you're kind of just packing it to the side. It's working, kind of, you think, but very, very slowly.
But I've air for now, at least.
Well, that's on your hand, not on your face.
Okay.
You feel your air running out.
Great, thank you. Haunting him. Are we saying that targets a creature, or the 15-foot cone? We could just say goes in front of my head, and might interact with the snow.
Let's see. I would say that would work.
Wonderful. Let's see if we can get some of this sonic damage to.
Sure. Go ahead and roll the sonic damage.
That's 9 points of sonic damage.
9 points of sonic damage. You unleash this haunting him with what little air you have left. And it moves a cone of snow in front of you enough that you can see the moonlight. And you can breathe for just a second before it all starts coming right back down. You've got to be at least a few feet under this snow.
Can I try and move to get into like a little bit of a higher position?
Make an athletics check.
God. Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you take this opportunity and immediately just wiggle your shoulders, catch yourself up, out, and okay. Your waist is still buried, but you can breathe.
Okay.
You can feel the air against your skin. It's real cold, real unpleasant, but you can breathe.
I make a note that I'm going to kill each and every one of my party members, and I start planning how I'm going to do it as I wriggle myself out.
You do, in fact, wriggle yourself out. You don't know exactly how long it takes. You aren't really paying too close of attention to the time, as you are now fully in the nighttime air of Salter.
Well, never doing that again.
Judging by the position of the moon, it looks close to midnight.
Oh, cool. So if I slept long enough that it's not going to give me, what's it called? Fatigue if I continue forth?
I believe I would say you've slept long enough to not get fatigued, yeah.
Okay. While I'm, just up, I start thinking about Hetrick, and I think, what do I think the odds are that they've contacted Hetrick?
And as you think that to yourself, you start looking around for your path and realize that it seems to have been snowing fairly heavily all night.
Oh.
And the footprints you were following are gone. Your
Yes, they are.
own footprints that you left behind you seem to be gone.
Awesome.
You are surrounded by a pure white blanket of snow.
Stream message.
Okay. Who are you targeting?
I'm gonna, target Hetrick.
Okay.
Hi,
What do you
Hetrick.
say?
I'm hoping the others contacted you. I'm lost on the plains alone. The Hollowwood has some fun time dilation. They were heading back to civilization, but I don't know what city, so I can't tell you where to go to meet everyone. I'll keep you updated. But, everyone is alive, though Margrim is not with the party. Gentique took her somewhere. It doesn't matter. Everyone should be alive. They were alive at last I left them. We'll be in touch.
All right. Yeah, you feel that the message has been sent and received.
Excellent. 10 out of 10. Wait.
What now?
What now, indeed? I'm gonna cast Create Food. I'm gonna eat. And then I'm gonna do my daily preparations and see if there's a fucking spell that'll help me find where I'm going.
Mhm.
Would Wanderer's Guide work? I'm curious.
I think we covered that
No,
Wanderer's Guide
yeah,
wouldn't
we,
work.
Yeah, no,
we
it
covered
wouldn't
this
work.
last time, I
Yep,
believe.
sorry.
It's all
That's
good.
fine.
I need an excuse
Okay.
to say Wanderer's Guide.
You do. Why wouldn't you? Okay. Well, helpful steps is a ladder. That's not gonna do anything.
Really? You're telling me that climbing on a ladder would not help you right now?
I suppose if I made a tall enough ladder, but I don't think that I have enough spell slots for that. Synchronized Thoughtful Gift. Advanced Scurvy. I don't think that'll do anything. Renly Referendum. I don't know what the fuck that is. That does nothing for me. Buzzing Servants. Carrion Mire. Clad in Metal. Not like a locate spell, right? Like I can't just cast locate thicket.
Well, I'd have to look. I haven't looked in a little bit, but I can.
Spirit sense. Oh, I don't want to find nearby spirits. I want to find the parrot's whisper.
I'm looking at some spells as well. What are these? It's so nice to have a cleric.
Circle protection, consecrate flesh. Warding.
Can we just talk about really quickly on the side how many crazy spells a cleric has access to? Like,
Oh yeah, the divine
This is-
spell list is nuts.
Oh yeah.
I know. I'm so happy I picked cleric on this. The fact you have
Okay,
you have,
what does locate do? 10 minutes, 500 feet. Well, fuck that. Okay. Transport is an organ site. How do I not already have something called organ site?
Mind of Menace now.
Disease, roaring claws, round skeletons. Show the way? Unity grant.
I think we did show the way during our encounter with the Wen cult, and
You're
we
right.
kind of discussed that we actually need to know the target, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Man, that was such a long time ago.
Let me look up show the way.
Are we positive?
Oh yeah, show the way is just Wanderer's Guide.
Hold up.
No.
No, wait. Read Wanderer's Guide with me. If I were to pick a destination, let's say that I wanted to go to Galanod. Can I say, okay, Galanod is my destination, cast Wanderer's Guide, and then it divinely gives me the route to that?
All that does is make it so that you're avoiding difficult terrain. It gives
What
you
does-
an innate sense of like how to avoid obstacles.
But would that sense of how to avoid obstacles not tell me how to get there?
No.
Okay, well, we're running out of spells, and I don't think I have the stuff to make a compass. What does augury do? Of the future. Well, ask about the results of a particular course of action. Up to 30 minutes into the... Well... What the fuck am I gonna do with 30 minutes in the future? You're standing in the middle of the white fucking plains!
30 minutes later, you're still lost. Congratulations.
Spirit Link. One willing feet creature within 30 feet. Rainbow's End? Well, that doesn't do anything. Okay, I have nothing. That's awesome.
I guess we sent the message last time that we're heading south, right?
North.
North,
We were
sorry,
heading
north.
north.
And then yeah, okay. I'm just curious if just
Can I?
You know.
I try and use a crossbow bolt to make a makeshift compass to tell me which way the fucking north is.
Why don't we... How to make a compass?
It needs a
Are we gonna-
magnet.
Can we get the one with Bear Grylls
Yeah.
pisses in the hole in the ground and then puts like a needle and just like
Yeah,
this is
it needs-
this is a compass.
Needs to be magnetized, unfortunately.
There's not a spell that's like magnetizes them.
Vulcan magnets, how do they work? Wait, that's the wrong accent. Shit.
I don't know what's happening.
Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah. It's great, great band. This is in the middle of the night, right?
Oh yeah, this is
Yes.
midnight.
This does shit, the cosmology guide, North Star.
That is true. Do I know anything about the fucking... Well, it's snowing, so there's probably clouds.
There are indeed clouds.
Oh,
Okay.
However, you can see through some stars through the clouds.
Alright. Based on my best guess of the stars, which way do I need to go north?
Well, why don't you make a survival check for me? Considering you're not trained in astrology lore or anything like that.
No, of course I wouldn't be. Okay, let's... That's 26.
26. Okay. You think back to your time with Dawncaller,
Mm-hmm.
having to survive in situations kind of like this. And you remember that you don't necessarily remember the stars. What you do remember is that the moon kind of goes in the same direction every night.
Oh.
So,
Aren't there two moons?
well, yes, there are two moons. However, they both orbit in the same direction.
Okay.
Both Caesar and Morgana kind of are almost always aligned at around the same point in the night sky. So in theory, you could just look at the moons.
Why are you saying in theory? Are the moons not visible?
They are.
Okay. I'm gonna watch the moons and see which way they go. Which way do they go?
They appear to be slowly moving. If you're looking directly up from where you currently are,
Mm-hmm.
they appear to be moving to your right.
Okay.
And you would know that the moons typically rise in the east, set in the west.
Oh, couldn't throw me a bone with some weird cosmology thing where their moons go north to south, could you? Okay, so it's going to the right, which means to the right is west. To the left is east.
In theory.
In theory. I don't remember. Do directions always work where, like, north, south, east? So if it's going towards the west, then 90 degrees to the left should be north? Maybe?
So you're turning 90 degrees to your left?
90 degrees to the left of the direction the
To the
moons
left
are
of
moving.
west?
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
gonna face due west and turn 90 degrees to the left. And I'm gonna walk that way.
Okay.
And if
You
that's
begin
wrong,
walking that
I'll
way.
die. But it's fine.
You begin walking that way. All right then. So as you begin making your way, it's not an easy journey by any stretch of the imagination. This is incredibly difficult terrain for you to be getting through. The snow is just heavy. A lot of the powder is fresh, but it still is quite heavy, quite wet as it comes down and buries your legs almost as soon as you take a step into it.
Hmm.
You don't know exactly for how long you've been traveling, but it's got to have been at least a few hours considering the sun begins to rise. You are very tired.
I don't suppose the sun rises in any way other than east and west.
It rises in the east, sets in the west.
Damn you and your Earth-centric propaganda. Okay. Yep. Gonna keep going.
Alright. You keep on going for as long as you possibly can. As the sun continues rising, you can't help but just feel so tired.
That seems correct.
The entire time that you've been walking, you have seen nothing but snow.
I mean, I don't think I would have expected to see anything but snow, right?
Probably not, but maybe if you were lucky, you would have hit a road or something.
Fair enough.
And that's when you see a shape rising over the horizon.
Oh god, not a shape.
Shape. Looks to be some rocky crags sticking up out of the snow.
Yay!
The snowfall stops. Skies begin to clear. I do need you to make a fortitude save as your elemental endurance has worn off. Quite a while ago, actually.
Well, it's a 31, and then I'm gonna cast Environmental Endurance.
Okay. Yeah, you've managed to make it through this cold as best you possibly can.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
I guess I'd keep going. Unless any of my organs know shit about what direction we need to be going.
So you're ignoring the crags and just keeping going straight?
Oh, I figured the crags were straight. I guess I'll go look at the crags.
Well, all right. You head on over to the rocky crags. And they have some snow over them. This strange, almost purplish stone. You've never seen anything quite like it. And it feels warm.
Warm, like pleasant warm, or warm, like this is a volcanic thing and I'm gonna die?
Well, it's not burning hot or anything to be standing near it, but you do feel warmth radiating from the stone.
I'm going
Which
to
may
take
explain why there seems not to be any snow, like, sticking to it.
Fair enough. I'm gonna take a small break and warm myself with the rock.
Hmm.
Just picture Bastian like hugging this rock desperately.
So as you huddle up to the rock, it's relaxing, and you're so tired. Doesn't matter that the sun's right overhead. You start to feel your eyes get heavier and heavier. As you begin to drift off to sleep.
Yay.
As you do, you are met with a voice. But before we get to that, we've got to go back in time a little bit. So, liver and kidney.
Oh.
You are both vibing out as usual in this body, performing your functions as best you can, and trying to stay in the best spirit as you really can, considering you are, trapped in a body, which is definitely not the most pleasant of experiences.
So,
Now, yes.
So, who's the kidney and who's the liver?
That's up to you to decide.
All right, we'll get to that in a
All
minute then.
Okay.
Now you can decide now if you want.
Duke it out. Fist fight to figure out which one of you is my kidney and which one of you is my liver.
Here's the question. Is there one kidney or two?
3.
Oh, fuck! Wait, so you just wanted triplets?
But
Alright.
one of you is one kidney, one
Okay.
singular kidney.
And so they've got like 2 competitors, and then meanwhile, there's one liver, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Flip a coin.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Heads. I'll heads is for me as liver, okay? And then, all right. I'm a kidney.
All right. You are the kidney.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as you two are performing your standard functions, trying to keep your organs active, the heart approaches. Are the two of you willing to speak?
No, not really.
Well, what's it fucking to you?
I have a proposal.
Oh, does it does it come from the heart? Hey, he's proposing from the heart. Come on.
That's really funny.
This was such a mistake. Okay, let me try rephrasing that. This is no longer a proposal, this is a demand. You are going to listen to what I have to say. Right? Is that understood?
You're gonna keep yapping your fucking mouth anyways, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yes, he is. All right, get on with it.
What if I told you that I might know a way to get us out of here?
Out of the warm body with easy access to alcohol.
I don't think I want to leave. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you.
Oh, but wouldn't you rather be your own body with easier access to even more alcohol?
It does sound pretty nice.
I mean, I would much rather go to a place where there's no alcohol. You know?
Something I should note is that while your physical forms are of kidney and liver, you know that you're not actually a kidney and a liver.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
Oh, that's not good.
Like, those are the physical manifestations that you currently have, but like mentally, you are not a kidney and a liver.
What the fuck are we?
Eventually, I'm fucking checked out, is what I am.
You know what? I'm not even going to explain this any further to you right now. I'm simply going to say that the two of you will be assisting in this process. You have no choice. And I will be getting the brain in on this momentarily. Just thought I'd give you a heads up.
Now, when's the brain ever listened to any of us?
Exactly.
What makes you think he's gonna listen to you?
Because I think she will like this proposal. So,
Go on, get on with it.
stay here, be quiet. I'm getting the brain. I'll be back momentarily.
Oh, be quiet, he says. You're getting the brain, he says.
That's not being quiet. That is muttering under your metaphysical breath.
And the heart leaves. Leaves in massive air quotes. You are all sort of floating in this void. You don't see anything. You don't really hear anything. You don't have any senses of your own other than occasional, like, pain. Well, liver, you don't have pain because you don't have nerves. And actually, I don't remember if kidneys have nerves. Do kidneys have nerves?
You ever got
Livers
kidney
not have
stone before?
nerves?
You ever got kidney stone before?
Do kidneys have pain receptors? Kidneys do not have pain receptors.
Oh, hey, nice.
So never mind. Neither of you feel pain.
Woo! High five, no.
Though liver, especially, you've definitely felt some bloating, some inflammation every once in a while.
I need me Pepto-Bismol is what I need.
I don't think that's healthy if you eat too much of that.
I'm gonna eat a whole fucking bunch of it, mate. Just you
I
watch.
also don't think that's also our executive duties.
I'm gonna be
So-
bubblegum pink.
So, Bastian, as you drift off to sleep,
Mhm.
you are approached by the heart.
Now, by approached by the heart, do you mean do I see a physical manifestation of this creature, or what?
No, this is never a physical manifestation. It very much is just sort of, you feel this presence.
Okay.
Sorry, Jacob just finally responded to me.
oh God.
Let's see what now.
Oh God, I'm stuck in this character.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
You are approached by the heart, Bastian.
Yes.
Hello, brain.
Heart. Lovely to see you as always.
Oh, I know it is. It always is. I have a proposal that I wish to bring to you.
What sort of proposal?
The kind that I believe you will enjoy. The kind that could lead to some, freedom for all of us.
Okay.
if you're willing to hear me out, I've got liver and one of the kidneys on this as well.
I'm willing to listen to whatever this is.
Excellent.
And you feel his heart drags you over to liver and kidney.
Great, we are all here now. So, brain.
Not looping the lungs or intestines in.
Fucking
No,
hate
they
those
don't.
guys.
As
I
do
actually think they're pretty cool.
Shut up, kidney.
Sorry.
So, I have brought you here because I have had a bit of an epiphany of sorts. Bastian, do you remember our last interaction?
The one where I told you to fuck off?
Yes, yes. But there was a part in that conversation where you asked what I did to be chopped up by my own people.
Yeah. Still would love to know the answer.
As would I. I realized after you asked that I don't actually know. And that got me thinking that I actually don't know a lot. And after speaking with a few of the other organs, it seems that that is a fairly common thread, that our memories are almost non-existent, with the exception of you, the brain.
Generally, that's
Now-
where memories are stored, so.
Well, yes, it is. So, how aware are you of metaphysical biology?
Not at all.
Excellent. I had a feeling. So, physical biology. We all have physical organs: heart, lungs, kidneys, liver, brain. These make up our physical body. But an additional organ that everyone has is a soul. Souls are sort of like a metaphysical organ. They don't exist in a physical space. However, they are bound to your body just as the rest of your organs are. And,
Right.
just as some people getting born with, I don't know, 2 heads, you can be born with 2 souls. Or somebody with 2 brains could be born with 1 soul. It varies situation by situation. But commonly, most people have 1 soul. Now, a soul stores the base essence of a person, but not their memories. The brain stores all of the memories in a body. And the two influence each other, but that sort of is where we're getting to here. Are you following?
Well, I don't know if you're saying I have no soul or I have several.
There it is. I believe, using my limited knowledge and memories, that each and every one of us is a distinct soul, bound to each of these body parts.
Sure.
Which, I wouldn't be surprised if you've already gathered that. You're not that unintelligent.
Oh,
But
thank you,
here's-
Heart.
Here's the thing. You are the one with the memories. You are the brain. Why do I have any memories at all? As the heart. If I am just a soul bound to an organ. Liver,
Oh,
do you remember anything?
or from my nap, or I
Just
had a
in
dream
general,
I
do you
was,
have-
was a butterfly.
Okay, kidney.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything? outside of this body.
Kidney thinks for a second. No.
If Heart had a physical form, you think Heart would be face palming.
Wait, no.
Which makes
no.
you realize that you know what a face palm is.
Huh. Oh.
I got
Huh?
memories of some sweet nectar on my lips.
Yes.
49,500 acres of vineyards. Oh,
Yes.
the finest of wines.
Yes, there it is.
That sounds
Those
really
are
nice.
your memories. Those are memories binding your soul to the liver, the physical liver, binding your metaphysical to the physical, a stitching of sorts.
You saying that I done got my soul stuffed in a sodden liver?
Yes.
That's fucking
And
fucked.
gods know if this even is your liver. We might not even be connected to the organs from our original forms. For all we know, the brain could be of Bastian Parker, and the soul could be of some, I don't know, orc.
How do you know I'm not Bastian Parker?
You might be. Perhaps you are the soul of Bastian Parker.
That's
But you
the
clearly-
other one.
Do not have the same memories as the brain.
So it's just a question for me. Hi. Does that mean any of us could be Bastian Parker, and it's just that
In
memories is just so that brain has the memory, but that could be Bastian?
Correct. Right now,
I am
the
or
being
am not
the being
myself.
known as Bastian Parker currently in current day is you, brain. To be clear, you are the one leading this as you are in control of the brain, so your soul is the personality, even if Bastian Parker was not originally your name.
So if I'm following what you're saying here, it don't matter who you were in another life. All that matters is if Bastian Parker is who you say it is. If the brain says itself to be Bastian Parker, then the brain is Bastian Parker.
Effectively, yes.
That's fucking beautiful, mate. That's fucking.
Indeed.
I fucking love that.
Now that brings me to this proposal. You may remember that I believe we are stitched metaphysically to these organs. Yes?
Yeah?
What if we were to pluck the stitching?
Pluck the stitching?
What if we were to pluck the stitching that binds us to these organs? I believe that could set our souls free.
But isn't that
Get us
dangerous?
out of this prison. Possibly. But what else do we have to do? Otherwise, we're just trapped in this body.
Well, here's the issue with that. I'm warm in this body right now. You pull those stitches, we're gonna be off in the cold snow.
No. Here's the thing. I believe if the stitches are pulled, the souls are released, and that means we get to go to our afterlives.
I don't want to. I don't. No.
That
no.
actually sounds like a great thing.
I don't.
Wouldn't it be?
I don't wanna
Imagine
go to the
liver.
after-
Imagine liver, an afterlife where you can exist in a field of vineyards as far as the eye can see, and all the wine you can drink for the rest of time.
I mean, if it helps, I'm probably not gonna live that long anyway, so.
Exactly! This body is falling apart!
Well, I more meant the mission.
We're
that I'm
not
on.
meant to be fitting together like this. I don't know why there are 3 kidneys in this body.
They got
Look at
names.
I mean, the rest of them are pretty giant assholes, so I'd rather we get going. I don't want to be with them anymore.
I want to talk to one. I want to talk to one.
No.
Son of a bitch.
It's not like I can go back with the paperwork and ask them why they did what they did.
I'm not telling you to. What I'm saying is that this is an opportunity for us to be free of this prison and for you to be free of us.
We start pulling at that stitching, what happens to me?
Well, I believe you would gain autonomy. If the soul is disconnected from the organ, then the soul no longer has control of the organ, meaning that it is simply functioning as intended on its own. In theory, at least. Again, this body is strange and cobbled together, so everything is a little out the window. That is why I propose that if we are to experiment with this, we start with something that won't be missed too greatly if it does stop functioning entirely.
One of the kidneys?
Yes. Not this one. I like this one.
Yeah, I like myself too.
No, you don't. So, the other kidneys are far more strong personality-wise than this one. I believe if we track down this stitching, we can pluck it and see what happens.
Do you mind waiting until we're not in the middle of an icy wasteland?
Oh, what better time is there? We're currently in as safe a situation as we can be. You're warm. You don't really need food. So...
Tell you what. Before you do it, any of us, why don't you try out one of those asshole kidneys? No one likes it. They're not gonna miss it.
The reason, Liver, that I've brought you two into this is because we cannot do this alone, Brain and I. And of course, I am needed for this because I am the one who has the knowledge of plucking these stitches. The brain is needed because the brain has all the memories. Now here's the thing. We cannot navigate to these memory stitches in the metaphysical. We have to enter the physical realm of memory in the brain in order to find these stitches.
But I only have my memories. I don't have any of yours.
Ah, that's what you think. Our memories are locked away, I believe. Locked away deep, buried underneath the memories of Bastian Parker. If we explore well enough, I believe we can find them. And there won't be that many, I don't believe. Should be a relatively simple process to find and pluck them. But the reason I have the liver and the kidney here is that, frankly, as the dumbest and weakest willed of the organs in this body, you are the least likely to attempt something that would get us all destroyed. Because I believe that if this body dies, because of the whole stitching thing, we will be trapped. We are already trapped in a prison, but I believe if this body dies, we will then be trapped in a dead and decaying prison. And in a wasteland like this, decay does not happen very fast, if at all. So we would be trapped forever.
Well, no, hang on. What if let's say this liver gets ripped up and eaten, right? Is that not gonna be the same thing? As my soul won't be released if this liver doesn't get wrecked?
Oh, it could be. That could be what happens. Or you will remain bound to pieces of that liver as it is digested by whatever animal ate it.
I won't do that. I don't like that. No. I don't
Right,
like that.
I figured as much. And just think, if that happens, you'll never have wine again.
What kind of
So-
grapes they got up there in the afterlife? What kind of
I would
vineyards?
imagine they've got all the grapes and vineyards you could dream of, and more. I'm sure they have grapes that you can pluck them right off the vine, devour them, and they are already alcoholic.
Beautiful.
So, Brain, that is sort of where this proposal is. I propose that we work together to find the memory stitches of your various organs and release them.
And how long are you thinking that will take?
I don't know. I think it will take quite a while. We'll have to go one at a time.
And you want to stay here to do all of them?
Well, frankly, it's a bit of a show of good faith. I could just be selfish and release myself. But I'm willing to be a little less selfish and release the others first. Shut the fuck up.
But you want to do the release here. All of them. Everyone's release here, in the middle of the wasteland.
Well, not necessarily right now. Like I said, this is a time-consuming process. I think we start with one of the kidneys for now, and then we move on from there. In time.
Okay.
All right.
This is gonna be interesting.
And the two
Which
of you
kidney?
are in on this deal?
For now.
I don't see why not.
Liver, can I talk to you for a second? And also, Braid, I have a question I want to talk to you guys about.
What is it?
Can we go to the side?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, we go
Sure,
to the
yeah.
side of the soul and look over the
Bye.
heart.
Bye.
Fuck you.
Okay. You see Kidney like lower his face, or whatever face he has.
C in massive air quotes.
See, massive air quotes. I don't trust that guy at all. Okay. That guy gives me the fucking creeps, so we got to be extremely careful. Okay.
Is this the same kidney we were talking to a moment ago? I say to the
Shush!
liver.
Yes.
Look, okay. Those other two kidneys are not to be fucked with, alright? That guy has no idea what we're getting into.
Funny little bitch.
Alright? I know there's a saying to follow your heart, but I feel like he's going to lead us into a very, very bad spot. So, I need to guarantee that at least when bad things happen, us three are going to be together.
I mean, we're in the same body, so...
Yes, but you get what I mean, right? If he tries to stab us in the... I make sure the spine isn't listening. In the back, then... Well, we'll be ready.
Sure, buddy.
Okay. Massive air quotes go back to the heart.
All right.
Is your discussion concluded?
I have an idea, I think. I have an idea what kitty to go first.
Great. Which one?
The GM, which kitty is the biggest asshole of the bunch?
Left.
The left kitty. He beats me up a lot. Or thinking it at this point. It's
Oh,
pretty much
wait.
it's pretty dangerous.
What about What about this one? What about the one talking right now? How about that?
No, we need that one.
Get rid of Lefty then.
All right. Let's get to it.
And the heart, massive air quotes, turns to Brain.
If you would please bring us into your memory.
How does one do that?
How does one... Well, I think you just do it. I don't know. I'm not the one with the memory here.
Okay, I try and bring them into my memory.
No, stop doing that. You look constipated. Just try something else.
What?
I don't know. A different strategy.
I start thinking about the time at the facility.
Okay, that's a good start.
As you begin thinking about the facility, you all feel yourselves metaphysically being grabbed by the heart, pulled together. And before you know it, you are no longer in this empty black space. You are now in what, Bastian, you would recognize as the facility. This brightly lit, sterile white environment. You look down to see yourself on the operating table, or at least a memory of yourself. This is you before the operation.
Huh. Human hands and everything.
And the same face. It actually looks like really the only thing that was kept from your original body was your head.
That seems about right.
Everything else appears to be different. Granted, the eyes on this body are currently closed, so you don't really know if your eyes are the same. And it actually looks like this head has red hair instead of your current brown.
Weird that they do hair plugs, but okay.
It also looks kind of curly compared to your current straight hair.
I'm not sure what utility the hegemony had for changing my hair type, but okay.
At this point, you do see the stitching in the body. Well, not even stitching. The cuts that you could swear weren't there a second ago. As now you see all of your organs piled up on a table next to you on a cart.
Is it labeled, or are we relying on my understanding of anatomy?
We are relying on your understanding of anatomy here.
Cool.
And you believe that these are your organs as they are currently next to your cut open body.
My current organs or my original organs?
Your original organs. This is all your original body, your original organs. And I should note, the heart liver, and kidney, your current heart, liver, kidney, all three of them are also here, present in this memory. Which you're not entirely sure how it's a memory, if you would at least think that Bastian was dead at this point, considering, you know, all of her organs have been removed, and oh my god, that's her entire nervous system pulled out in one piece, tacked to a wall.
Oh!
There appears to be a pair of Hajimids in white robes, specks of blood across them. They appear to be studying the nervous system.
Are my bones in my body? Like, are we doing like pile of flesh, or?
As far as you can tell, the bones are still there. Few of them look broken. And you actually notice a few holes in the flesh itself that look like possibly bullet wounds.
Do I remember being shot?
Do you try to recall that memory?
Yeah.
You are no longer in the facility. You are on the battlefield, in one of the trenches. You see yourself, the original Bastian, in full hegemony armor, wielding a standard-looking Octite carbine, in the trenches, surrounded by other Voffits. And, before you realize it, a small canister comes over your head, hits the back of the trench, rolls against your heel. Bastian looks down at it before it explodes, knocking her and the other Voffits around her against the trench walls. Seemingly, her armor protects her almost completely. She seems a little shook up as she brings herself to her feet, just in time for a hobgoblin to vault over the side of the trench with a long sword, slash open the straps of Bastian's armor. At this point, Bastian quickly shoots him through the head, but as her chest plate falls off, an orc still over the top of the trench fires 3 times into Bastian's torso. And the body falls over.
Oh.
Bastian, brain, rather. You can still feel these shallow breaths. Heaving in and out as blood fills the lungs.
Well, that's pleasant.
That's what you remember about being shot.
Okay, so how do I get to the other kidney?
I don't know. You have to find the right memories.
Do you remember
point-
pissing your pants?
What?
I don't know. I'm just offering some. I'm just trying to find something, you know.
I've been there.
Brain, do you try to remember pissing your pants?
No?
Okay. You remain in the
Um,
trench then.
I'm gonna try and remember right after, like, I woke up from the operation.
You focus on that moment. You're back in the facility. Blinded by an overhead light as your eyes flutter open and you are filled with just intense panic as voices fill your ears. And the heart just screams out, "Not this one! Not this one! Not this one!"
The current heart or the...
Current heart, not memory heart, current heart.
Okay,
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Not this one! You'll destroy us all!
Okay, I'm gonna go back.
Yes.
You go back to the
He's
trench.
embarrassed.
You go back to the trench and begin witnessing that whole scene play out again. Except this time, it isn't a hobgoblin that vaults over the side of the trench to cut the straps on your armor. It's an orc,
Mhm.
and you realize there are no straps on your armor. The orc jumps over, slashes at you with an axe, and you shoot him. And the orc that shot you before is actually a dwarf
Mhm.
who fires 3 shots, which appear to pierce through your chest plate.
That's different. Okay, so I can't go to when we were all first together.
No, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Far too overwhelming of a memory. Barely even a memory. I think that is one of those,
I think he's
Repressed.
hiding something.
Did you not just experience that?
I want to see it. I want to see it again.
You are such an idiot.
Yeah.
Let's try...
I know fine wine, brother. And you're nothing but sours.
I'm not even wine!
Let's try, the first time I can remember that specific kidney, the left one we're trying to go after, speaking to me, specifically?
So that kidney has never actually spoken to you. Most of your organs have never actually spoken to you. You did not know until this interaction that you had 3 kidneys.
Okay. How am I supposed to find a kidney that I didn't know existed?
I don't know. Well, I assume you knew this one existed, but regardless, I don't know. Try. There were suggestions before.
Pissing my pants?
You could try that one. I don't know. I'm sure there's a better option somewhere.
It's the only option that's been presented, so fine.
Well, then fucking try it.
Do you try to remember pissing your pants?
Sure.
Okay. So,
This is the most vivid memory of them all.
Bastian, you try to focus on the last time you pissed your pants. And you are You are now in what appears to be a tavern. Bustling, busy, loud music, very bright, happy music. Doesn't sound Vophemelian at all,
Okay.
like anything you'd be familiar with. And you look around and appear to be surrounded by elves, dwarves, but not the Vophemelian kind. These appear to be Prasajan elves and dwarves. You believe you're in a Prasajan tavern.
I've never been to Presage, right?
No, you don't believe you have. And you don't see Bastian anywhere. However, in this memory, you appear to be sort of seeing from the perspective of a dwarven man. You believe, a Cossentur dwarf. One of the guardian dwarves of Presage.
Right.
Dancing, swaying. Seemingly quite drunk, actually. And this dwarf is dancing with another dwarf, a Fwill dwarf, one of the pale dwarves of Presage. And out of the corner of your eye, you can see what look to be 8 Points officers in the corner, staring. You would remember that a little bit before your death, 8 Points had firmly established a presence in Presage.
Oops, I'm sorry.
But that's a story for another time, of course. But yes, you do feel a certain warmth, shall we say, from this dwarf, and a sharp pain as the Fwill dwarf that you were dancing with, their expression turns from joy to horror as you look down and realize that there is what appears to be the blade of a glaive through your stomach.
It's not good.
And you realize why this is the memory that trying to conjure urinating yourself. You understand now why this is that memory, because the dwarf that you are currently very definitely is pissing himself as
That's fair.
he
He's
falls
just
to
been
the
stabbed
ground.
with a glaive through the stomach.
Yeah. And the last thing this dwarf seems to see are those 8 Points officers standing over him.
Right, so who is this?
What the fuck are you doing in my memory? How the fuck do I have a memory? What the
No.
fuck is this? I kept quiet. Why are you coming to bother me now?
I didn't do anything. It was the fucking heart.
Yeah, you did. You brought yourselves here to my memory.
Hi.
Technically, that was the kidney's idea to find the other kidney.
Hi. I just want to.
You little bitch!
No, wait,
Fuck
wait.
you!
No. You want to go? Hold on.
Why are you listening to anything that this scab has to say?
No, you're in a very bad spot, right? You want to go somewhere else?
What you got?
Of course I want to go somewhere else.
You want to pass on? You don't want to stay here forever, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so that's...
Any of us want to stay here forever.
No.
Well, there's no way out of this, is there?
Well, the
We're
heart-
trapped in this fucking corpse.
Well, the heart has an idea, you know?
The heart has an idea. I'm sure it's the heart having an idea, not you slimy little fuck.
Who are you?
I don't know. I think I'm one of the kidneys.
The
Right
left
now,
or the right?
I don't know.
We've heard
I haven't really
Lefty.
paid that close of attention.
Lefty didn't sound like that. You're righty.
Alright, maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I don't really know. All I know is you burst into this memory. It's one of the only memories I've got, so really, I don't know what you're doing here.
What other ones do you have?
Well, I suppose, I have this one. And you transition. You are no longer in that tavern. You are on a rooftop. In a vast city full of green, tall buildings of wood and stone, trees, vines, flowers everywhere. You're sitting next to that same dwarf from the previous memory, that Fwill dwarf. It appears that both of these dwarves are holding hands, leaning against each other. I've got this one.
Who's that then?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know. I don't know much of anything.
Look at how familiar you are.
Let's try and think about them. I point at the Fwildorf.
You said you try to think about them?
Yeah.
You can't find anything. You don't know who this is. Even their face seems to be blurry. You don't... Even in this memory, you don't seem to have any knowledge of who they are. You just know that they're there. You know their presence. And you know that they are Fwill.
These are the only two memories you have?
I think so.
What about after?
What do you mean after?
After the tavern.
I don't... I'll try to think. The scene transitions again. No longer on that rooftop, no longer in the tavern. You're in this very small, black, metallic area on a slab. those officers from before are gone, save for one. There is one still there. And there are two Hajimids in similar white robes, speckled with blood. The blood is less speckled in this case and more splashed. And it seems as though they are cutting open this body, using that glaive strike as a starting point. They are harvesting the brain and the kidneys. Bastian, you would recognize this as a space you've been in before. This is the inside of a hegemony dropship. I think this is the only other one I've got.
What if we follow those kidneys?
Like I said, I think this is the only one that I've got.
Well, I quote-unquote turn to the heart. What are we looking for?
I don't know, but I think this might be it. I feel like if we found the moment of disconnect here, perhaps this is it. If this is where the soul was bound, perhaps? If this even is the same soul. I don't know, but
Are they doing anything with the kidneys?
It's sort of a freeze frame right now. It looks like they've pulled them out, and they're currently snipping all the connections.
I might be able to try something.
Okay.
I believe I can try to snip the threads from here.
And what does it mean, snip the threads?
To undo the stitching. That thing we've been talking about doing the whole time.
Okay.
I believe I can try doing that. But I don't know. This seems to be a bit of a last memory in about every sense.
Yeah.
The heart. You feel the heart's presence move over to the kidneys that are being pulled out of this body.
Mm-hmm.
The heart mutters something that you can't quite understand.
No, this isn't it.
No?
No, this isn't it. This is not a very powerful memory. It's barely even a memory, more of a filled gap of sorts.
So where, the death scene then?
I don't know. But I would imagine it has to be one of the other two.
Which of those feels stronger to you? Which can you recall more clearly?
Neither of them is very clear, but I think the emotions are definitely tied to the rooftop more.
Let's go back to the rooftop.
You're back on the rooftop. This time, the sun is setting when you could swear the first time it was rising. And you can make out a few more details on this dwarf, this Fwill dwarf. You can make out their piercing green eyes. You can make out that their teeth are straight and clean, unfiled, unlike most Fwill dwarves. Or, well, like most Fwill dwarves nowadays, I suppose.
Is this the right one?
Well, let's find out.
The heart moves over. And you see the spot where your kidney would be in this body begin to glow.
Yes, this is it. This is the one.
So what do we do?
What are you doing to me? I can feel that. What are you doing to me?
Hopefully releasing you to an afterlife.
I don't know what that means. What happens to this? What happens to me?
Hopefully you'll go somewhere where you can see them again.
But what if... And the voice is cut off as these blue spectral threads are pulled from this body. You remain in the memory as these threads float over to you.
Here we have it. The memories tied to the soul. Now,
What's next?
at this point, you have choices.
Choices?
I want you to listen to these choices very carefully. Choice number 1. We let the soul free. And we hope that your organs still function on their own as they are intended to, and you never have to worry about this organ getting in your way of autonomy again. Option 2. I believe I can bind this soul and these memories to you, to the brain, and allow you to access them.
And what happens then?
Well, then you have access to the knowledge and memories and power held within the stitches and the soul.
So I would be him and me.
Well, you would still be in control. It basically would be transferring from one prison to another within the same body. However, you would be able to use that. Considering the amount of life and death scenarios that this body finds itself in on a daily basis, that could prove intensely helpful. The choice is yours.
We wanted to test out with kidney first to see if the organs would continue to function if we set the spirit free.
Oh, that's will be the same result regardless. Binding this really Realistically, we already are seeing the results of that test. I have already unbound the soul from the organ. So if it were to stop functioning, it would do so now.
Let it go.
Let it go. You're going to give up this power that you have access to?
I think
Not
it's
mine.
important. I think it's important if you at least hold on to it, you know?
Eat the soul. Take the soul, it's yours. That's not just any kidney, that's Bastian Parker's kidney.
Of course, there's absolutely no judgment if you choose not to. But I'm just making sure you understand your options. Understand that this is power you'd be leaving on the table.
Would you want me to keep your soul bound?
Not necessarily. However, I also would understand. And in theory, you could release the soul at any time.
And when I die, he dies.
I don't know. I don't exactly know how any of this works specifically, but I believe by binding the souls to each other, your direct release should also allow for his release.
We'll keep him. At least until I can find someone who knows something about soul magic more than, no offense, you.
No offense taken, I frankly don't know much. Other than, of course, my superiority.
Well, thank gods that hasn't been disrupted by any of this.
What is disrupted is that sentence as the heart shoves these stitches into you.
Oh, ow!
Oh!
Bastian, your eyes flick open. You are back in Salter. It is nighttime again.
Oh, I guess I'm starting to march again. I don't really know
Your
what
head,
any of that did.
your head hurts quite a bit. And you can now feel another presence. However, you do feel that you are in control of that presence in your mind.
Does he have a name?
You don't know.
Can I ask him?
You don't get a response. This presence seems unable to act autonomously.
Can I go into my memory and try and figure out who the fuck this man is?
You try to do that, and as you do, you start to be able to pull at these threads and trace them. There were memories beyond the three you were shown, bound into this stitching. Not a lifetime's worth by any stretch of the imagination, but enough that they could be useful, especially seeming that this dwarf, you think, was a survivalist of sorts.
Right then.
And using that knowledge, you look around, you start to orient yourself a little bit, and you realize that this entire time you've been going south.
There was a 50-50 shot.
by
Oh.
turning left while going west
Left from
in a
west.
90-degree turn to the left. You have gone south
I'm looking
by
at
at
it.
least a day.
If I'm looking at a compass
You've
rose,
essentially lost a day of progress.
right? But if I'm looking at a compass rose, north.
If you're looking at a compass rose, never eat soggy waffles. If you are standing in the middle, the moons rise in the east. They are directly overhead, heading west. You face the west. You turn to your left 90 degrees.
Was this entire subplot an excuse to teach Emma the cardinal directions?
I still don't think I know them. I'm looking up a compass rose. Give me- Oh, I swapped east and west. Fuck.
Ooh.
Candid Bastian Parker moment.
Oh, I thought you said Weast.
Emma, have
Never-
you never heard the phrase "never eat soggy waffles"?
I was taught it as never eat shredded wheat.
That
I don't
also
know why.
works.
Well, because that's
Either way, it's clockwise. NESW.
I know how to orient like a literal map. I don't.
But you now know which way is north.
Awesome. I turn around and start going north.
And
Never wet something.
that is where we're going to end
Oh my
tonight's
gosh.
session.
Holy moly.
To be clear, I do know how to read a map. I can actually. I did a fucking Knowles backpacking course. I know how to use a map. I just mixed up right and left.
I don't
It's
think he's
not
ever going to
that
let
funny.
this go.
Nope. Nope.
It's not that funny.
It's really funny.
Oh.
It's really funny. So now you have unlocked your soul pool.
Oh.
Ooh.
What does that
So
mean?
what this is a set of dice equal to the amount of souls that you have. And you'll be able to roll these dice as a free action. Whenever you roll it, I will compare the result to my secret table. And that will cause different effects. It could be bonuses to your next roll. It could be increasing your proficiency in one of your skills for a certain period of time. It could give you temporary access to a feat. But it could also cause the soul that you've trapped inside you to rebel.
Yeah, that seems fair.
So, yeah, you now have access to a brand new mechanic. Which I will tell you more about before the next time it is needed.
I figured.
I'm still ironing out a few of the details.
I figured you would
but-
tell me when it was relevant.
Yes. But, Bastian, how are you feeling?
It's fucking hegemony organs, god damn it.
Wait, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So Bastian Parker was in the hegemony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Bastian Parker was a
Hegemony
fucking
soldier.
Voffit, so
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bastian Parker was a
Yeah.
Voffit. She was a soldier. She
Yeah.
fought on the front lines.
Yup.
Yeah.
Kind of thought we knew that already, but
Well, not as visceral
Well.
as that. right? I knew
Okay,
that you were a
yeah.
Voffit. There's Voffits that aren't in the hegemony, right?
Very few of them.
Yeah, very few. Very few.
It's extremely rare because they are so brainwashed.
Yes.
Yeah, having all of your organs removed and replaced with other people's organs kind of will break some brainwashing.
Yeah, a little bit. But it is definitely worth noting that memory of waking up, you cannot recall that.
That seems normal and fine.
Yeah. Liver, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fucking primo. I don't really know what's going on, but I know if Bastian Parker needs a drink.
Unfortunately, I don't have any liquor here.
I'm gonna support it.
And Top Kidney, how are you feeling?
You know what? I don't trust the heart at all. This is a game that's being played long term, and I think from the kidney's perspective, he thinks at least it thinks the heart is playing the political game and trying to usurp something that should not be usurped. And you gotta be very careful with that thing. Trust your
And how
heart.
are we all feeling? Oh yeah.
Sorry, love with your heart, but use your brain for infidels.
And
I'm
how
not
are we
sure
all
that
feeling as
loving with my
players?
heart is
Oh,
a good
yes.
idea.
It's-
With this heart.
By the way, that is a reference to one of my favorite YouTubers, so you should watch his videos. It's Captain Disillusion. Please watch him.
Oh, we love Captain
Yes.
Disillusion.
Yes. Okay.
And how are we all feeling as players?
I
You're introducing scary mechanics.
Yes. I can't wait for Bash and Alicia's thing.
Yeah. And so it will now be several weeks before we get to see what happens to Bastian next, because next time we will be going back to the rest of the party.
Yay.
We want to give a special shout out to our first member on Buy Me a Coffee, Jane Meyer. Thank you so much for your support, Jane. It really means the world.